Welcome to the Balanced Flux podcast. I'm Tenny McLeod, and these are my takes on cultivating mental health, enhancing personal productivity, thereby living a balanced life. I hope that you'll be inspired to expand the quality of your life and in turn, empower others along the way. Expect new episodes on Sundays at 1 p.m. UTC on major podcast apps and platforms. And remember that you can always get more information on the website at balancedflux.com. So join me now and every week on this inspiring and fulfilling journey through the Balanced Flux podcast. There's always a line between what you think and how you act, and more often than not, this line is very fine, a somewhat invisible and subtle boundary separating your inner world from your outward expressions. Think of it as the difference between a gentle breeze and a raging storm. Both involve air, but their impact is worlds apart. This fine line exists in all aspects of your life, and learning to recognize and respect it is crucial for your overall well-being and the quality of your social interactions. Now you might wonder why this line is so important. Well, imagine a chef receiving a harsh review. Disappointment might spur them to refine their dishes, while succumbing to despair, on the other hand, could extinguish their culinary fire altogether. Or picture a musician grappling with a challenging composition. Optimism can fuel their practice, but if they slip into delusion, unrealistic expectations might lead to burnout and crushed dreams. It's all about navigating that delicate balance between constructive and destructive responses. This line isn't some rigid, unchanging barrier. It's more like a river, constantly flowing and shifting. You cannot assume you're home free once you've mastered a particular emotion or behavior. Self-doubt can creep in when you least expect it, and you must be ready to address the consequences. Take surfing, for example, where you're constantly adjusting your balance to stay on the board and ride the waves of life. Moreover, one of the biggest pitfalls is thinking that your thoughts and emotions are inconsequential, tucked away in your mind where they can't harm you. Suppressing anger, for instance, can fester and morph into resentment, leading to passive-aggressive behavior that poisons your interactions. It's like thinking you can contain a wildfire by ignoring it. Eventually, it'll blaze out of control, consuming everything in its wake. So how do you actually walk this fine line? Remember, this is a journey of self-discovery and mindful practice. Think of yourself as a gardener tending to their plants, carefully observing signs of imbalance and proactively nurturing your well-being. Regular introspection, like journaling or other mindfulness practices, can illuminate your inner landscape, revealing your emotional patterns and triggers. It's like holding up an insightful mirror to your inner self, fostering a deeper understanding of yourself. Mastering this delicate balance empowers you to respond to life's curveballs with grace and composure. Instead of lashing out in anger, you might take a deep breath and communicate your feelings assertively. Instead of crumbling under pressure, you might tap into your resilience and find creative solutions. It's like learning to dance with your emotions, guiding them with finesse instead of letting them lead you astray. Of course, finding this line may not be that easy. To begin with, developing the sensitivity to discern where the line lies takes time and effort. It's like learning a musical instrument. You need dedication and practice before playing a beautiful symphony. And sometimes you might find yourself overthinking and dissecting every thought and emotion, which can stifle spontaneity and joy. Imagine a painter meticulously analyzing every brushstroke. They might lose the flow and magic of their art, completely missing, well, the bigger picture. But here's the thing. By cultivating self-awareness and emotional regulation, you unlock a treasure trove of inner peace and stronger relationships. Mindful communication becomes your superpower, allowing you to navigate social encounters with clarity and empathy. It's like conducting an orchestra, where each instrument plays its part harmoniously, creating a beautiful symphony of connection. Also, you might encounter more bumps along the way, like the subjectivity of the line, for example. What's considered assertive in one situation might be perceived as aggressive in another, requiring you to adapt and understand different social nuances. To elaborate, assertiveness is about expressing your feelings and needs in a direct, respectful manner, while aggression tends to involve expressing those same feelings in a forceful or hostile way, often disregarding the feelings of others. And there's no denying that your emotions are fickle friends, ebbing and flowing like the tides, making it a constant balancing act for you to stay afloat. External pressures can also throw you off kilter, like a strong wind threatening to knock down your carefully constructed kite. But don't lose heart. Even amidst these challenges, remember that you can find the courage to embrace the uncertainty, trust your instincts, and adapt as you go, just like navigating through a dense fog. Things might seem blurry from a distance, but as you tread deeper into the fog, your path becomes clearer as the fog lifts, possibly even unfolding new paths as well. And when you stumble, don't beat yourself up. Instead, quickly get up, reframe those missteps as learning opportunities, and transform self-criticism into self-improvement. Walking the fine line between your feelings and reactions is undoubtedly an ongoing journey. It involves cultivating a mindful awareness of your inner world and how it interacts with external reality. Choosing responses that empower you and nurture your relationships creates a life of balance, authenticity, and genuine connection. What's more, identifying and managing that fine line between your thoughts and actions can drastically impact your life. After all, there's even a fine line between line and life itself. All it takes is a single letter. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Balanced Flux podcast. A new episode drops every Sunday at 1 p.m. UTC on major podcast apps and platforms. You can also listen to the podcast and extend your support through the website at balancedflux.com. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. Kindly seek the appropriate care and treatment from licensed professionals. Do join the community on social channels and send your messages there or via email. Either way, if this podcast sparks some form of inspiration, I'd be more than glad to hear from you. Thank you for sharing your time and mind space. Your presence and engagement truly make this journey even more fulfilling and rewarding. I'm Tenny McLeod, signing off for now, and until the next time, stay safe, best wishes, and keep striving to achieve your balanced flux.